wanna go take and do waiting I love, waiting you love, oh. No be waiting I love, oh. Waiting I love, I go know how we love my heart, oh. Go no be vodka, Mr. Money Changer. But I know the ways that Mr.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. On this happy trip back to the promised land.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another edition of Conversation Beyond Borders, streaming live on HYT African TV across all social media platforms, including my personal page, Kiki Mami Ekuya Ayete. Tonight, we are focusing on public procurement, a process that plays a critical role in how government institutions work with businesses, yet is often misunderstood by the public. To help clarify how procurement works in practice, we are speaking with the Acting Director of Procurement at the Environmental Protection Authority. We will discuss how contracts are awarded, what businesses need to qualify, and why transparency and due process matter in public sector procurement. Ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce the guest for tonight, let's go for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Ebusia, sa woman ni sika ifi America memu akofidie enka ni se ja otipa ya kra. If you say Pay Angel ediasem panaba. Pay Angel se money sika fi America eko Ghana, Nigeria anase Kenya wasemantem. The money je ni ka sonkoko ane se o bridge me bia enka ho ena wonsan chia sika biara eka dia woman ne pe ho. Ani zero stress and no hidden charges. Yes, sign our rater and dance ankasa. Into what trend download the Pay Angel app nene or Google Play Store and also Apple Store. Then yes, you can win. Pay Angel, global payments, local simplicity.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Our guest today is the Acting Director of Procurement Authority. The Acting Director of Procurement, that is Environmental Protection Authority, and her name is Temutis Zubla. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Mutis.
It's a pleasure.
Well, let's go straight in. For viewers who may not be familiar with the term, what exactly is public procurement? And how does the procurement processes work at the EPA from start to finish?
Thank you. So, procurement is basically seen by all as just the way of buying things, how to get an item at the cheapest price, just to run and get your staff, pay for it and get back. But when you come to public sector procurement is far different. Hence the word procurement. In general, I would say that procurement is a process of acquiring goods, services, consultants, and works in a transparent, competitive, and value for money. So when you come to the public sector, then we are looking at how you use public purse in acquiring those requirements, which are the works, the goods, the consultancy, and then the technical service I mentioned earlier on, in creating value for money for the government. So basically, this is what public procurement is about.
Right. So how does the process work, from EPA? How does it work from start to finish?
So basically, when we talk of procurement, you need to identify a need. What do you want to procure? After the identification, you need to plan. You need to get your budget. You need to source for the items. You need to do your specifications, your TORs, your bill of quantities. You also need to go to the market and then source for the suppliers, the contractors, etc., etc. And by doing so, you have your procurement plan approved done for you by your entity tender committee. Right now, it's not just about approving your budget or your procurement plan that you can just dive into procurement. You also need to go through other processes by taking your budget, your procurement plan, and other things to the Ministry of Finance to seek for commitment authorization before you can start. So for you to do a business with the public sector and then the Environmental Protection Authority in particular, you first of all need to register as a supplier, a contractor, or a consultant with the authority. And by so doing, you go through certain processes, like you need your mandatory business registration requirement. And what is the mandatory requirement? First of all, you need to register with the ORC, that is the Organization of Registrar of Companies. You have to register over there. They will take you through the process, and then you will be issued with a certificate. Also, the Ghana Revenue Authority, if it's a limited liability company, you also need to get your social security. If you are going to do business not just as a supplier but as a contractor, you also need the certificate, labor certificate, a Ministry of Housing certificate. You also need the Public Procurement Authority certificate. Even you also need the Environmental Authority certificate, because we also take care of the environmental protection. So the regulations, the policies and everything are there. You also need to get those certificates. So these are the things that you will need with your business introduction letter, and you introduce your company to the Environmental Protection Authority, and then we'll enter you into our data. Per the law, we need to have suppliers, contractors, consultants, and services data. We need to enter you there, then we take it up from there. So,
That seemed like a lot of certification when it comes to getting contract from the EPA. So
sure.
can you tell us the duration for this certification? Because sometimes people complain it takes too long, and sometimes they fall into the wrong hands, trying to get third party to get those certificates for them. So can you tell us the duration, probably the cost involved, if you may have an idea?
Well, like I said, we have various certifications that you need to acquire. And now with the introduction of electronic processes, if you go through the right channel, it will not take you much time to acquire your certificate. I will say that the first step is to the ORC. If you go to the Organization of Registrar of Companies, they are on the internet. The website is there. You only have to go there, type the name of the business, what you want to do, and it will take you straight to. So you don't need to go through Guru Boys for them to extort money from you. And immediately you enter into the system and all your documentations are correct, definitely you are going to get the minimum time to get your certificate. Likewise, the other organization that I mentioned, the GRA, the SNIT, the PPA, the EPA, is the same, because right now at the authority level, our new CEO has introduced the automation system, which now is going to cut the lead time of acquiring a permit. So it's going to be very, very limited to when it comes to the time of acquiring a certificate, and which I also believe it applies to all the other organizations.
Well, in your speech, you mentioned that certain contracts have to go through the Ministry of Finance. And we also heard that the government contract cannot proceed without clearance from the Ministry of Finance. So what does this mean in practice for the EPA and for companies hoping to win contracts?
Okay, so per the law, somewhere along April 2025, the Honorable Minister introduced the commitment authorization, as I mentioned earlier. So as an organization, and I will talk of Environmental Protection Authority, you need to submit your needs in terms of your procurement needs with the various estimations, with your budget, with your financial analysis report, and all the financial documentation that you need to support the approval of these procurement needs. So when you submit this to the Ministry of Finance, they will go through various steps, and then you'll be issued with the approval called the commitment authorization before you can start your procurement process. So for instance, last year, somewhere along the line, when this new law was introduced, we have to suspend our procurement and then send our procurement needs with our budget line, the financial analysis and everything. And we were given a commitment authorization, but it was for a period. For this year, we've already submitted it. I don't know whether it's also going to be for a period like quarterly, half yearly, or the full year. But we are waiting for the approval to be given. Then we'll know from the letter the lead time for that particular. So assuming you've received your commitment authorization, you have your procurement plan, you have your procurement methods, then you can start your procurement process. So that is how it works.
Thank you. So there is this common belief that if you know somebody in an institution, you don't need to go through formal procurement. And so why is this still necessary to follow the full procurement process at the EPA, regardless of personal connections? Because if I have connection within an institution and I'm looking for a contract, there's no need to go through your office. Is that necessary to go through your office, even if I know someone?
Even if you know the president, there's no way you will not go through the processes. And like I said, the first step is for you to introduce your company to that particular organization. So here we are talking of Environmental Protection Authority. You need to introduce your company with all the mandatory requirements, as I mentioned earlier on. And then it will get to the authority, will enter you into a database. And then when there is a procurement going on, you advertise. So assume it's a competitive method we are using, you advertise. For that one, you might not be in Environmental Protection Authority's database, but you might be in the consolidated one. That is the one from the Public Procurement Authority database. That is where all businesses are supposed to do their first step of registration from. If you don't have the Public Procurement Authority certificate, you cannot do business with public sector. So with that one, that is the national database. But when it comes to other methods like shopping, that is the request for proposals, request for quotation. which has its estimation limit that can be approved by the CEO. That one, you must be on our local database, that's the Environmental Protection Authority's database. And then through that, we'll do the shortlisting from there. Again, if it's also a single source method, that one too, you must be in our local database. But those that are competitive, you must be in the national database, which is the Public Procurement Authority's database. That one, when we enter your company's name, we'll see your all your documentations, your requirements over there. So there's no way anybody can do business without going through the process, because the CEOs, the leadership, the professional, everybody is aware of the law. So there's no way you can do business without passing through all these processes.
So what are some of the common challenges with this department? And, in terms of delivering timely and cost-effective procurement outcomes?
So now that the new government is preaching about 24-hour economy, everybody is striving to work within less time to achieve its objective. Most at times, you realize that some of the business people, they have little knowledge on the requirements they're supposed to have before coming to the organization to do business. So as part of our professionalism, we also need to take our time to give them a sort of education, take them through all the mandatory requirements before they can do business with public sector. And truly speaking, it's working. They come, they don't know, you take your time, you educate them, and they appreciate. And it's a form of adding knowledge to you, to your work you are doing. For somebody to come to you, you take the person through, these are what the things that you need. It's a sort of joy helping somebody to get all those requirements and then enter into the business with public sector. Sometimes you try hard, but when their documents expired, sometimes they don't know and they will bring it. So in the process of doing the procurement, you see that most of them, they will not be able to sail through because the process is step by step. So if you are not able to sail through the first prelims, for instance, it's one of your business certificate expired or something, then you can't move to the next step. But in the process, you look at it and it's not something that has to do with the substantive of what you are doing. You can, after the evaluators, they can decide. It's not just anybody decided that, oh, let him or her bring it. No, it's up to the evaluators, those who are doing the evaluation in the system, to say that this one, we can let the person go and bring it or not. So it's going well. Now people are trying to appreciate the public procurement process very well. And it's better. It's better than before.
So let me ask you this before we go for our first commercial break. Could you provide insights into the approval workflow for procurement, procurement requests across different departments within the authority?
Yes. So when it comes to the organization, all departments are supposed to bring their needs latest by the end of last quarter of the year, so that we put all these needs together, we'll package them, we'll categorize them, and we'll put them into our procurement plan. It's not anytime, anyhow, except emergencies. But per the law, you need to bring your procurement needs to the procurement unit so that we'll put them nicely into packages, and then we'll put them into our procurement plan with estimates, and then we'll move from there.
Thank you. Dear viewers, let's go for our first commercial break. We'll be right back to continue with the program. Stay with us.
After a long day at work, there's one thing still on your mind. I need to send money home, and fast. With just one tap on the PayAngel app, you unlock your true power. Zero fees, lightning fast transfers, maximum impact. You soar across cities and oceans, faster, safer, stronger, powered by PayAngel, where every transfer is a mission of love. Back home, your family feels it instantly. Joy, hope, and pride. Because when you send with PayAngel, you're not just sending money, you're sending care. Be the hero back home with PayAngel. Zero fees, instant transfers, maximum impact.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Mr. Mutus, for those living abroad who are interested in doing business with the EPA, what should they know to be more competitive and compliant?
So first of all, I will advise that they go to the website of the ORC. They also go to the website of Public Procurement, Environmental Protection Authority's website, the Public Procurement Authority, and all the various institutions that they need to get certification before they start their businesses. And they may also have partners locally who are basically taking care of their businesses for them. They can also walk in to the various institutions. EPA, for instance, our doors are open. We have a very friendly staff that anytime you come there, they are readily available to help you. If you want to do business with EPA, you can just walk in. But if you are outside the country, just go to the website and then all the information are there for you to follow.
So, what are some of the business opportunities that exist with suppliers for SMEs to participate in EPA's procurement processes?
So for any SME, any person in business, if you go to the Public Procurement Authority, we advertise all our procurement plans over there. So when you go there, you see all sorts of businesses. You also need to register with the Ghana Procurement Electronic System. That one too, all businesses that are advertised, they are there, you see them. So whichever you like to participate in, when the contracts are advertised, then you can log in there and then you start from there. So first of all, you need to be on the GANEPS, that's the Ghana National Electronic Procurement System. The short form is GANEP, and they have an office at the Accra Digital Center. If you go there, they will take you through how you. Now, I even learned if you just log into the website, the processes are there that you just follow, and all the requirements that you need to be on that are there for you to follow. And through that, you'll be active. So anytime any institution advertise for contracts, automatically you get a prompt in your email, on your phone and everywhere. Then you can start from there. So it's very easy. It's just a matter of following procedures. That's all.
There are certain cases where advertisements, sometimes they advertise their contract, but you go in there and they tell you there is nothing like that. Have you had such, challenges? Because sometimes they do it advertise, you go to their websites and then you think you are bidding for their contract, but you go there and then they tell you it's no longer available.
In my organization, for instance, we have never experienced such thing before. And again, like you said earlier on, some people think they know somebody. So when they want to participate, automatically they will get. But the systems are there. The system must wait. That is why the government is preaching of a 24-hour economy, where we need to be, we need to do things the other way around. Things that will take us 1 month to do. With the introduction of electronic, it will take less than that. So if you follow the due process, there's no way. So assuming you've you've seen an advert and you want to participate, and you put in your proposal through the system, and everything all your documentations are valid, you will sell through. The last thing that they will look at is the price. So definitely, if your price is a responsive price, there's no way nobody will say that they are not going to give that contract to you. No, you are definitely going to be the responsive tenderer. And at the end of the day, you are going to win that contract and it will be awarded to you. So it's just a saying, well, one way or the other, people might experience, but actually it is not the normal practice. And like I said earlier on, during the traditional system, like the traditional way of doing procurement, one or two people might have maybe experienced, but with the introduction of Ghana National Electronic Procurement System, the system is there. It's electronic. I cannot go into the system and change anything. Likewise, you can also go into the system and do so. So that is how the whole process.
You've been with APA for 27 to 30 years now. I just want to ask, in the first year of the NDC government, what has changed? Can you tell us anything that have changed in that office?
From where I sit, a lot of things has really changed, but I would like to just dwell on one thing, which is of paramount to me and the entire nation. That is the introduction of the commitment authorization. And why this amendment? It's all about controlling expenditure, whereby anybody can just get up and procure anything of such. And sometimes the money will not be there, but they will go ahead with the procurement and it will pile up judgment to the government. Now, with the Honorable Minister of Finance bringing in this commitment authorization, there is no way you do procurement without that. The sanctions, the law, everything is there. If you try it, you go to jail. So with the introduction of the commitment authorization, in fact, it's a really good thing that is going to control government expenditure. So going to control the way each institution will use government purse in procurement. If you don't have the authorization, you cannot do it. And it's a thumbs up for the government.
Thank you, dear viewers. Let's go for a quick commercial break. We're going to be back and we dive right into after. Stay tuned.
That dream of studying and working abroad has been made much accessible to everyone, including you. So worry less about how you're going to get there, because we always make it happen. This is Staff Finders Ghana Limited. We offer a highly professional guidance and support system, both in your university and visa application process. Staff Finders Ghana Limited is a highly trusted agency of the University of the West of Scotland, one of the largest modern universities offering a range of academic, social and sporting facilities. You can apply for undergraduate, master's and PhD in business and creative industries, education, social sciences, computing, engineering, physical sciences, health and life sciences. Come through Staff Finders, and for your studies, you get yourself a laptop or a £500 gift voucher. Call on +233 598 4888 04. WhatsApp on +44 7404 711 049. Send us an email or visit our website for more information.
Thank you for staying with us and welcome back. Mr. Mutus, with everything happening within the EPA, especially the procurement department, if things are done properly, where do you think your office will be in 5 years? How do you see your office in 5 years if things are done properly with the way you are talking about digitalization and everything that comes with the procurement?
I would say that we'll have a wider competition, transparency, and real-time data, and also a value for money.
So where can businesses go, or who can they contact to inform about EPA procurement opportunities? I know you talked about the website and everything, but sometimes you go on the website, you don't get all the informations that you need.
Yeah, so
So
like
where
I
can
said,
they
as
go?
for the Public Procurement Authority website, all our plans are published over there. And if you also want to come to the authority itself, anybody at all is welcome. However, like I said, all our procurement plans are published on the public procurement website. So if you go to the Public Procurement Authority website, you see all sorts of procurement plans over there, including the authority's own. But you can walk in, introduce your company to us. If there is something and you think you want to hear from us direct, our doors are open. We are in the public sector. We are not going to hide any information from anybody. So it's a very transparent office, and we have the staff who are readily available to help.
So, how insulated is your office from political pressure? I know you have experienced change of governance over the years.
Procurement, of course, in everything, party people will come around, putting pressure on you. But if the systems are there and the systems are working, I don't think anybody is above the law. So we all follow the due process and then we'll sail through. So with this procurement activity or the plan that I'm talking of, if you go to the website and you see, and we advertise something, you see it over there. You also participate so that everybody will be competitive. We don't want anybody to say that because this person is party A and this person is party B, they are giving priority to this. No, we are in a country that everybody needs to do business. So just follow the due process. And when you follow the due process, all your documentation, all the requirement they are asking for, price is the last thing that they will look at. And if your price is competitive, definitely you are going to win that particular contract. So political people will come, will explain things to them, will educate them, and they understand. So I would not say there's a political pressure anywhere. It's just a matter of following the due process.
So, what is this? What is the biggest misconception Ghanaians have about public procurement?
Procurement, like you said, people see it to be the cheapest price, buying stuff, this and that. But it's not like that. It needs a larger stakeholder management. It's a risk management thing. It's a compliance thing. It's a governance thing. It's a whole lot. So when they enter into institutions and they are being educated and they are being advised on what to do, now they realize it's not just the matter of getting money, go to the market and buy. No, there are procedures. You need buy-in from people. You need to do your business case, your business analysis for management to get the buy-in. You see, proper governance is there. So just buying. No, it's no more like that. It's no more like that. Now, it's more of a relationship thing, a partnership. I need something. You are there to give me something. We all need to collaborate to see that what you are bringing to me is what I want, so that we all satisfy ourselves. It's not just a matter of taking money, go and buy something, you negotiate on the thing, or you just push the person and you think you've gotten the thing at the cheapest price. You come back home and no, you have to go through processes because it's all about management. It's all about relationship, win-win situation. So that is exactly how it is.
I know you used to be Environmental Protection Agency, and then you recently became an authority. But do your suppliers, the suppliers that you deal with, do they have to prove environmental responsibility beyond paperwork before you award them the contracts? Let's say if
Yes.
somebody wants to do, yeah.
Yes, so depending on the sort of contract that you want to do, you need environmental permits. So for instance, if you want to do something like works, you need to get environmental protection permits because it's part of the regulations. If you want to do other commercial activities like manufacturing industries, the petroleum side and all that, they all have various permits that you need to acquire. So it's all part of the environmental protection regulation, policies and requirements that you need to get before you do business with us.
So how do you measure whether procurement decisions actually reduce environmental harm?
So for now, we are not just talking of procurement, but per the environmental protection, we are talking of sustainable procurement, whereby we look at certain things when we talk of procurement. So if you want to do procurement, it's not just like just you need to look at the sustainability. Sustainability in terms of the specifications that you do, your terms of references, your bill of quantities that you put in place to start your procurement. Make sure you have the sustainable requirements in it so that the environment that we live in, you think of the generation that will also be there to use it tomorrow. Not that we just do it for today, but you think of tomorrow, the future, not just for us, but the future, because it's the environment. So you need to do sustainable procurement in terms of what you put into your specification. So for instance, if you want to procure air conditioning for your office, you cannot just go and buy anything. You need to look at the specification for the air conditioning, whether they are energy efficiency, and you put all those things into your specification, and that course or that tell you that really we are looking beyond today. We are looking at the future, what will live for our generation to also come and enjoy, so that we will not pollute the environment, we will not utilize what we have today, but we think of the future. So it all boils down to what you put in your specification when it comes to procurement, what you put in your terms of reference when you are doing your consultancy, what you put into your bill of quantities, your drawings and things when you talk of sustainability. So these are all the things that you think of when you are putting your procurement things together.
I'm going to read some questions from the comment section, and one of our viewers wants to know, are contract awards determined mainly by price, or are factors such as business experiences and proven delivery capability also considered?
Yes. So when we talk of price, price is one of the rights when you talk of procurement, because we have different things that make somebody a responsive tenderer or a responsive bidder. So you look at all the other requirements before you get price is the last thing. So in my earlier summation, I made mention of preliminaries in the evaluation processes through the GANEPS. So all those things will be, for instance, you look at the preliminary, you look at the commercial and all those things. You come to the technical, and price is going to be the last one. So if you fail in the earlier criteria before coming to, or the earlier steps before getting to the last step, which is the price, then price is the last thing that we look at when it comes to evaluation of procurement.
So how does EPA manage and monitor supplier performance after contracts has been awarded?
So procurement, it doesn't end at when you bring the goods to the authority, but you also monitor the usage, the users when they are using it. You monitor the feedback you get from them. You put them down as your KPIs, and it will help you to build a better relationship with your supplier. This is how we go around it. We don't just end it then when you receive the thing. No.
So having worked with EPA for all these years, what has changed your personal views about consumption and waste?
Consumption and waste. So we have various departments that also look at. For instance, when you come to our built environment, they take care of waste. But when, as an individual in the organization, and then working there for a number of years through education and through the physical experience of things around us, I will say that when it comes to consumption, yes, why should you waste food? Look at your stomach, look at your satisfaction level, and know that this is what I want to eat. Do not eat too much and waste the food. Because no, when you waste food, number one, you deprive somebody from eating. You are also throwing your money away. You are also creating waste. And in terms of waste, you also have to segregate it. It could be that there are various, not just consumption, but office waste. We must have different waste: the paper, the food, the plastic, and all the canned things. So that at least when you finish your consumption, the residue, you know where you deposit, so that the end to end at the appropriate landfill site. So working with the Environmental Protection Authority, I learned how to minimize consumption, because I just don't eat anything. I eat the required food and the right food. I don't eat things that will generate waste. I take my own bowl to the office to eat, and I take my own flask to buy food, to buy coconut water. By so doing, you are trying to reduce waste and then efficiency in terms of consumption.
So, what procurement outcome taught you a hard lesson, since you've you've given us the good one?
Well, procurement is all about planning. Sometimes when you're not able to plan well, or as you plan, other things will be coming alongside, and then it makes the work difficult for you. Plan all right, but you see, you'll be there and the people will come, I need this, I need that. You can't say you won't procure for them. So you have to find ways and means to get it for them, and then you take it to your entity level to review the plan, and then let them know. If it's nothing urgent, then you wait and then you put in it your next quarter for the entity tender committee for them to review it, give you the approval before. It's not easy, but we are managing, because we are all managers, so we have to manage and try to move the nation forward. If you don't manage, you can't achieve your objective. It's not easy. We are doing our best.
Right. Thank you very much. I just want to read one more from the comment section. A viewer is asking, has there been situations where procurement rules slowed down an urgent environmental response?
I would say yes and no. No, because yes, it comes all right, but in the procurement law, section 40 allow us to do single source. So if we should experience such an emergency or urgent item to be procured, you go to the section 40 and look through and see what the person is asking for. So for instance, let's say there's an oil spill somewhere and you need an equipment or material to quickly reorganize. You can still use the section 40. You apply to the public procurement sector, public procurement authority, for them to give you the approval, and you'll be able to follow suit to all the necessary steps, and you go through. So that is it.
Thank you. Dear viewers, let's turn around a bit and we'll be right back for the last session.
Wɔ afe biara mu no, nipa mpempem a ɛwɔ akwantwom ɛma ne sika bɛfie bɛyɛ nneɛma bi te sɛ adansie, ayaresa ho ka, adesua ho ka, efie sikatua, aware ho ka, ɛna eyie ɛne deɛ keka ho. Nanso, ɔhaw kɛse a ɛwɔ wei mu nie. Kwan bɛn so na wofa ho ne sɛ botaeɛ nti a woma ne sika no, yɛde yɛ sɛ wɔma ne sika afa obi so de di saa adwuma wei nom no taa yɛ ayɛmhyehyeɛ paa. Ɛtɔ da ɛkyɛ na ahotosoɔ biara ɛnni so. Wei enti na Pay Angel ɛde nhyehyɛeɛ soronko aba sikamanneɛ mu a yɛto ne din direct to merchant remittance. Yɛtwa ne tia D2MR. Wei yɛ kwampa a wobɛtumi afa so ama ne sika ɛde ama ndwumakuo a wɔne wɔn di dwuma wɔ abra ɛmfa ɔdasani anaa ntamgyinani biara nsɛm na wakɔdi wo sika. Wobɛtumi afa D2MR so ama ne sika ama wadɔfoɔ. Saa nhyehyɛeɛ yi so boa ndwumakuo nketewa no paa. Wɔ D2MR so no, wo sikatua yɛ mprempren. Yɛngye wo hwee. Yɛma wo abotɔyam sɛ wo sika ɛrekɔ bea a ɛwɔ sɛ ɛkɔ na ɛkɔdi dwuma a ɛwɔ sɛ ɛdi. Pay Angel D2MR aba ma sikamania ayɛ mmerɛmmerɛ ɛsiane sɛ ɛmfa ho biam ne bea a wɔwɔ anaa adwumakuo a wɔne ɔmo di nsa wɔ so no ɛwɔ. Yɛyi ntamgyinafoɔ nyinaa firi hɔ na yɛama wɔadi dwa na wɔamma ne sika ntɛm so ne ahotosoɔ mu. Hwehwɛ Pay Angel akyiri akwan ɛwɔ Google Play Store anaa Apple Store. Tua ma ɔmo direct. Meka sɛ Pay Angel a na wagye so sɛ global payments, local simplicity.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Mr. Mutus, I have one more from the comment section, a final one. Environmental degradation in Ghana has increased significantly. Although the country has comprehensive environmental laws, harmful practices such as bush burning, indiscriminate tree felling, and the use of hazardous chemicals persistent. What measures can be implemented at the national level to strengthen enforcement and curb these activities?
I would say that now with the regulations, the education is on course. They are really educating the public on all the environmental protection laws. And then the policies are going to be in place for all of us to be aware of what you are supposed to do, what you are not supposed to do. I will say that so far as we are human beings, there are some recalcitrant among us. So no matter what you do, you still find people doing the negative things. But with the laws, the regulations, and then the intensive education, I believe things are going to turn around. And with the current CEO, she's really doing well. Professor Nanama Brown Kluche, our CEO, she's really doing well. She's always on the field, everywhere, every corner. She's there with the team members. So with time, we are going to see a new Ghana. It's difficult, and it's not about EPA alone. It is about all of us. We all have to be aware of the environment and know that the environment we are living in is not for anybody. It's for ourselves and for the future, our children's children's children, the generation. So we should just put ourselves that where you are not supposed to do this. Why should you go and do it? EPA alone or Ministry of Environment alone or other institution alone cannot do it. But if you and I should understand that these are what we're supposed to do and what not we're supposed to do, I think environment is going to be an enabling place for us to live and for the future.
Right. Thank you. So what role does EPA play in licensing of mining activities, particularly in relation to Galamsey operators? I know I'm just, but just to chip in this.
EPA plays a huge role, not EPA alone, in collaboration with other stakeholders, Minerals Commission and others. So it's not only EPA. We partner with the other institutions to make sure we have a sustainable environment to live in.
Thank you so much for sharing this important insight for, the procurement process at EPA. We wish to have your CEO to come on the show and, give us more clarification about what happens in your office. Thank you so much for joining us today. And From today's discussion, it is clear that procurement is about fairness, accountability, and value for money, and just not personal connections. We appreciate the guidance offered to the business, including those in the diaspora. So I believe we have heard a lot, we've learned a lot about, going on your website to check for advertisement, things that we think we can do, and the contracts that we think we can hold, and not going through or not falling victims to the Guru Boys. And so thank you so much for engaging us. And to viewers, thank you so much for joining us for today. And up until next week, it's still a conversation beyond borders. Good night.
You've been gone, it's an empty home. Come on back where you really belong. You are always welcome home, welcome home. You've been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome.